Toni Williams, and this is Brooklyn Savvy. We'll be exploring the difficult topic of human trafficking and the exploitation of women and children over the next 2 episodes of Brooklyn Savvy with public health nurse, and you're also a broadcast journalist with WBAI 99.5 FM Hillsdowns, right?
That's right.
And this is Barbara Glickstein.
It's a pleasure
Welcome,
to be here.
and thank you so much for being on our show.
Thank you.
We'll also, I think I need to introduce to us Ellen Salpeter. You're a newcomer to the Savvy panel. Welcome, Ellen.
Thank you.
Looking forward to all your Savvy comments, okay?
I'll do my best.
And we have Karen Auuster and Devorah Halberstam. We want to talk about this whole issue around exploitation of women. And I think of nannies. Nannies come to mind. I think we've all kind of talked about this. There was a Brooklyn paper article written back in March about our nannies basically being exploited. There was a survey done in Park Slope, a small survey, looking at whether nannies were paid fairly, were they getting benefits, that kind of thing. So what do you think, Ellen? Do you think that nannies are exploited?
I think it's a really complicated issue, and daycare makes it better. And if we lived in a nation that had better choices for women who worked outside the home, I think it would be a different issue. I think it's complicated. I think when you work outside the home and you need to look for affordable and quality childcare, and you're putting your child in the hands of someone else, there are a lot of emotional issues that come into play beyond workplace, equity and issues. And I think that the new law that was just passed by the Senate around domestic workers, whether they're taking care of your child or your grandmother, may help move the situation further along. I don't believe the law has been passed yet or signed by the governor.
But is $500 a week for 50 hours a fair wage? Is that fair?
I think that it's an employee-employer relationship with an emotional component. I mean, these are your children. So there's negotiations involved that you're trying to think with your head, but there's also a heart there because you want this person to be amazing with your child because it's your kid.
But you're going to pay him $10 an hour and we're going to get amazing?
I don't see it as exploitation at all. I don't think this whole issue around nanny, I think it's very much like Karen says. I think it's really an employee-employer relationship. People are not being put into bondage. I actually see it from another perspective. I have 5 children of my own. They were all, I don't want to say raised by nannies, but in a certain sense, I always needed outside help. And I felt that I was held hostage by the nannies in a certain sense.
How are you held hostage by?
Because it's sort of an unspoken thing that goes on between you and the nannies.
It wasn't too
they
positive.
know that they are taking care of your kids.
All right.
And I was very nice to the nannies. Whatever agreement we kept to, I always kept my word.
So they were playing games with you?
They were playing games with me, and I had them. I've had changes over the years, and I had some that lasted several years. But I felt if I left the home, they wouldn't do what they promised that they would do. My children, I would feel, were neglected to a certain point. They would be on the telephone half the time and stuff like that. So it's not so crystal clear.
I understand, and I understand all of those factors. But then there's a part